Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. I'm Administrator Mike Chen on the production of Mars, and today we're going to be reviewing Season 2 of DareDevil. I was going through Earthling Netflix, and I came across DareDevil, and it had some great reviews, so I decided to click on it. Now, I watched the first and second season, and I enjoyed it. So we're going to be reviewing the second season instead of the first season, so we can compare the second season and how the director decided to change some of the things to the first season. Now, some of the characters would be Matt Murdock, who, spoiler alert, is blind. He also is Daredevil, and through this entire time, he's going out at night and being Daredevil and fighting crime, and during the day, he's an attorney at law as Matt Murdock. And in between, he's fucking bitches. Speaking of fucking bitches, Karen. He ends up going out with Karen in this season. That's a spoiler. I should have warned you, but fuck you. You haven't seen it yet. Anyway, now Karen decides to work for the New York Bulletin and decides to get some dirt and some evidence on some of these cases that we're going to talk about later on. Now, Foggy Nelson, he's in it and he's a bitch getting fucked over by Matt all the time, but because of it, he becomes a better lawyer. And in fact, in the first season, I didn't think he was a good lawyer, but in this season, he's definitely improved, and he's stuck his dick out in the court and has done his job. Another chick getting fucked by Matt is Elektra. Now, she met Matt in college, and they just kind of did some things, and it turns out that I'm not going to spoil it for you, but she's a big part in the show. Stick comes back, and Stick is the one that trained Matt on how to see with all of his other senses, and to gain his eyesight back. The main villain, per se, in this season would be the Punisher. However, he's also a hero, an anti-hero. He goes through and he's killing a bunch of the gangsters and thugs and lowlifes in Hell's Kitchen, and he's being chased around because of it. He's being chased by Daredevil, and he's being chased around by the police. His name is Frank Castle, and when he returned from overseas, he was in a very deadly shootout at a park, which his whole family was killed and murdered, and he's seeking vengeance. Now, in this show, one of the main plot points is, after Frank Castle has gone through and killing people, Nelson and Murdock decide to take his case and see if they can win so they can gain some fame because their law office is losing some money. And that's some of the main plot points. A few of the other ones would be the problems with Elektra showing up and ruining Matt's life and things like that, but I don't want to be spoiling too much of the show. Now, just going ahead and comparing the show to the first season would be the action. The action is still amazing. It might be a little bit better than the first season. The one-shot fight scene that the first season got an award for, they did the same thing again, but now it's on a stairwell, and it was phenomenal. And leading up to it, the reason why this fight scene happened was a great part in the story, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the story, I think the story was a little bit lacking. It wasn't as good in the long run as the first season. In the first season, they went all out. They blew up the whole docks and all things like this, and nothing like that seemed to happen in this season. And it was kind of a little bit of letdown. I mean, some things happened that were pretty chaotic, but it just kind of all stayed the same. People died, but it was expected. And the villains, there wasn't really any villains in the show. There was this mention of this group called The Hand, and they just kind of jack everyone off, so, I mean, that's not really villainous, that's kind of just pleasurable. Now, the character development is one of the biggest parts in this. It shows Daredevil, or Matt Murdock, leaving Nelson and Murdock and pulling away because he wants to be Daredevil most of the time. In fact, I believe he does say something along those lines. It does have Nelson staying with Nelson and Murdock, and he just kind of keeps going through and trying to become a better lawyer, and Karen is helping him become a better lawyer by encouraging him to keep doing what he needs to be doing, and he does. And Karen herself even improves, and she's not just a little bitch that sits in the thing and eats all the food and then buys them coffee all the time. Now she's actually going out and helping with some of the cases, and is even in the courtroom a few times to gain some evidence and to give her input on things. Now, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about this show, that I've always enjoyed, was how the characters felt. I felt like they're actually from the comic books and put onto the screen. I know a few of you may disagree, which is totally fine. And you can demonstrate how I'm wrong in the comments, and you can tell me to KYS myself, but that doesn't really matter. Some of the other things would be like, I don't know, the story. Like I said, the story, it was enjoyable. Like I said, it wasn't like the first one. If you watch the second season, just showing up at your friend's house and watching a few episodes, you'd probably get into it, but probably not that interested. I mean, it wasn't as good, like I said before, as the first season. Now, you can help the video out by liking the like button and subscribing to the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, refresh the video 5 times. And to that I say, time to go.